It is the first impeachment trial of a former president, but this is round two for Donald Trump. Thanks for joining us. I'm Anita Blanton.
And I'm Tom Shad. The Senate just voted the impeachment trial is constitutional. Most Republicans voted against the proceeding, a 56-44 split. Mr. Trump is facing a charge of incitement of insurrection for his role in the January 6 Capitol riot. The lone Republican lawmaker from Hampton Roads is watching the impeachment hearing unfold. Democrats have 16 hours to prove the commander-in-chief incited the insurrection.
First District Congressman Rob Wittman was an eyewitness. 10 on your side's Regina Mobley checked in with them to see what he had to say about it. Regina?
Tom and Anita, it's unlikely all Democrats in the Senate and 17 Republicans will convict Donald J. Trump on a single count. Donald John Trump engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the government of the United States. But what's also on trial is the future of the Republican Party.
Saw them breaking windows. That is absolutely unacceptable. I condemn that in the strongest terms possible.
That was Congressman Rob Wittman hours after an angry mob stormed the Capitol building shortly after the president told supporters to fight the false claims the election was stolen. The Republican backed a Texas lawsuit challenging the outcome of the election, and he voted against impeachment in the House. Do you believe that the former president, incited the violence that we saw on Capitol Hill?
Well, the Senate will hear the evidence there and make that determination.
What is your determination? You've seen the evidence.
When the articles of impeachment came before the House, I voted against that, taking the action of a flash impeachment.
Also problematic?
I want to tell you, Republican voters support him still. The party is his.
Freshman Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was stripped of her committee assignments after her conspiracy and violence comments of the past were exposed. You voted in support of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Why?
I am not in any way, shape, or form in agreement with her words about QAnon. Congress has to function based upon the idea that the majority can't come in and take action against the minority without the minority having a role in.
And what about the role of the former president as head of the GOP? Wittman is walking a fine line, saying there are folks out there who support the former president, but there are others who have different viewpoints. Wittman added, "We want to make sure that our party includes all." Regina Mobley, 10 on your side.
And now